Hello. Camera. Camera. Hello, 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 and welcome to another one line of code. Maybe. Perhaps. Hello. Camera. Deactivate. Reactivate. Turn on light. There we are. Hello, 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 and welcome to another one line of code. I am One Lion. Happy Monday to all of you. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your work week. For those of you that start your work week on a Monday, and those of you that don't start your work week on a Monday, I hope your work week is going well. And those of you that don't even have a work week, I hope it's going amazing for you. Whew, did I cover it all? Hi, Kat. Hi, Napalm. Hi, Dickasoft. And we get our 2-for-1 dad joke. SiriBot gave us a joke that said, "Why did the house go to the doctor? It was having window pains." Actually, it was
having window pains. Check it out.
Did you guys hear that? That's hilarious. I wasn't even talking to you. That's gonna be a pain. Anyway, and then we got a Dukabot. Oh, yeah, I can't say that word anymore, can I? The other bot is what I'll call it. But Dukabot said, "Did you hear the one about the guy with the broken hearing aid?" Neither did he. That's terrible. That one actually was worse than the other bot's joke. Ooh, we get ads now on our Windows swap? Great. Well, that makes it immersive. Anyway, let's get out of that scene. Let's go to the desktop. So we've been working on connecting the bot. There is something terribly, terribly wrong with my bot. Oh my gosh. Hello, somewhat interesting frog. I almost said fog. I would not have intentionally I'll be with you in a second. Hold on. Stay. Okay, I'm with you. Hello, somewhat interesting frog. I hope you're having a great day. Kat says, "Did one part of the changelog app I was tasked with making pulls change logs from their servers and makes a PDF. It's nice." And thank you so much for the follow. Oh man, everything is just like all over the place. What's going on? Activity feed, please. Okay, did archery work? Archery is working. Thank you so much for testing that out and making sure that it works. The LLM is working the way that it's supposed to. And okay, thank goodness. I wasn't going to be ready for that. So if you type !shoot or choot or pew, wait, you already did. You know how this works. I was looking away when you shot. You just do another shoot, choot, or pew. You get 3 total shots. Wow. Just like that. All right. I am almost there. But yeah, thank you so much for the follow. Feels very accomplishment. I am like, there was one thing that happened this morning that kind of threw me, and I still haven't recovered from it. And it's not even all that major. It's just kind of annoying. We were having a package that said it was supposed to be delivered on Saturday. And I didn't go to the mailbox on Saturday to pick it up because we have one of those communal mailbox cluster things. So I didn't walk up the block and a half or block or however far it is to get the mail on Saturday. So I went there this morning to get it, and there was nothing in the slot, nor was there a key for the lockbox. And there were 2 keys in 2 of the other lockboxes, and both of them were empty. And I'm like, I know it didn't get delivered to our box. So really frustrating. It's annoying. But anyway, doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that threw me off a little bit, and then things just kept feeling off. But we'll catch up now. So I got the bot back up, and thank you again, Somewhat Interesting Frog, for testing it. Here is the project that we've been working on stream. It is the financial management tracker, one that we developed on stream. All of the videos are posted to YouTube. If you are interested in seeing 252 videos of me talking for an hour and a half and coding for 30 minutes each, something like that. And hello, Tobias. Oh man, it's gonna be a fantastic, wonderful day. Wonderful. But yeah, we finished all of the core logic for it. It will be like so Somewhat Interesting Frog is asking, is it possible for other people to see where you click? The heat map extension that I have turned on stream, which you can also turn off, by the way, if you don't like it. Twitch TV online is the thing that's making this red dot show up when you hover over the screen. And what I intended to do was have it to where I have some kind of interactive thing on stream where if you click on it, then it does a thing, and click drag. I don't know what all events it sends with this extension and what I can listen to or how to listen to it, and haven't spent very much time doing it. But if you don't like it, just turn off the heat. So over here on the side of the stream will be this, I don't know what they call this, a dock overlay something. Click on the one that looks like a dragon flame egg thing, and then just turn heat off. And then you'll get the normal mouse. Hello, Deflux. There are 6 lions. There are more than that. To infinity and beyond. Oh no, definitely not that. But the project that we've been working on stream is a full stack Blazor web application that I also created the Maui project for, so that we can deploy to Android or desktop or Mac if we wanted to, or iOS. Anyway, mobile, desktop, and Tizen TV if we want to. And they're all using the same UI. It'll be interesting to see what it would take to turn this app into the new Maui plus web version of the app. Thanks for the shout out, Big Amy. I've been lurking on your stream. But yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see if we can do that. But for now, we finished the core logic, and I'm working on updating the UI because I wasn't happy with the UI. So we did this whole role play thing, and we're at this point now where we have this design. TBD Gamer resub. Thank you so much for the resub, TBD. Oh man, super cool of you. Shout out for TBD Gamer, which already we had a recent shout out for Big Gamey. We got a recent shout out for Big Gamey. Thank you, Dukesoft. You're amazing. Once the shout out cooldown is done, we'll give you a shout out, TBD. But great stream this morning. I was very focused until the mail situation thingy came to light. on this. Oh my gosh. Right, clear. Go. You there. But I will give you my full attention very, very soon. All right, and there is a shout out for TBD Gamer. Hello, Scott. Is your Maui native or Blazor WebView? It's Blazor WebView because my intention was to make this first a web app and to also have it available on desktop. Well, like my intention wasn't even to do desktop at all. I was experimenting with Maui and wanted to see how it works. Wanted to see if I could use the same user interface for all of the platforms, for web, for desktop, mobile, and Tizen, I guess. Could you imagine trying to do your finances on your TV? I guess that's possible. But yeah, TBD Gamer is a fantastic .NET developer. Check out his streams. It's really good times there. He's working in some really interesting technologies and really, it's just an overall great time. So if you have the availability, he streams Monday through Friday, typically at 7 a.m. I keep saying 7 a.m. because that's my time. 9 a.m. Eastern time, which is UTC -4 currently. That'll change eventually. Can I shout out a new Blazor dev? Of course you can. Of course you can. That streams at relatively unconventional hours. Been impressed with his code. Definitely. You most certainly can. All right. So in this redesign process, we have this design. It has these 4 sizes. Lambidoo. Lambidoo. What do you do, Lambidoo? Show me. I see lots of Visual Studio. All right, learning Blazor on real world project. That is right up my alley. I love watching this type of thing. Hold on, I need to be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I ran away right when the raid came in. I was just talking about an issue that I had with a mail delivery that wasn't actually delivered to me. Oh, geez, that's gonna be loud. I'll look at Lampidoo in a second. Whew. And so what ended up happening is the person whose mailbox the key was delivered to was kind enough to bring it to our door. And they left it. That was super duper nice of them. But I'm back. I'm here. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, King Hits. How are you doing? Ooh, I don't think I know you. Do I know you from somewhere? Out of breath. Let me look you up. Give you a follow. What kind of stuff do you work on? What have you been doing? All right. I am following you now. Let us know what you do. I will introduce myself while I wait for you. I am One Lion. I've been working on Blazor or with .NET for quite a while. I've been streaming Blazor. You're going to school to get my BS in CS. Just been grinding that. Awesome. But what do you do on your stream? R6 with chat. I don't know what R6 means. Let me catch my breath. All right. So I've been a .NET developer for a while. I've been streaming .NET since about 2018. Would you say, Deflux? Maybe a little later than that. I don't know. I'm not very good with time. Oh, Rainbow Six. Okay, I know what Rainbow Six is. Um, I'm terrible with time, but I've been streaming Blazor. Well, I mean, I've had Twitch for a really long time, but I've been streaming Blazor for a million billion years. Actually, you know what? We can find out. And I've been streaming Blazor since it came out in around 2018 or 19, and YouTube Studio, content, live, because I used to stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Take me to the last page. There's 2020. There was a go to last page there. Okay, so we'll say 2020 is when I've been streaming since. Which is definitely not right, because I was definitely streaming DDMS and work stuff prior to then. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter how long I've been streaming. I've been here for a while. And yeah, so I used to work at a place where I could stream my day job, and I have since moved jobs to another one. And when I moved jobs to that place, I was not able to stream my day job, so I still wanted to stream. And I was like, what are we going to do? Let's do a stream project, and why not make it a project that I could use myself? And so right now I have a Microsoft Access database file thing where I track my finances manually. And that's why I'll keep up the grind. I don't know a whole lot about .NET other than it's micro framework. All right, I'll try to explain that or understand that in a second. I don't think I can parse that. Oh, Microsoft framework. Okay. It's a Microsoft framework. I was like, is micro framework a new type of technology that I don't know about? Most likely. I'm so behind on everything else. Oh gosh, I'm peaking. Sorry about that. Okay, so micro framework was a thing. See, I knew it was going to be a thing. There's always something. Brain, catch up. I'm usually not super like this. Oh, there's so much going on. Okay, slowing down, catching up. So after working at that other job, I decided that that kind of a work environment isn't for me. So I ended up going back and helping or working for the people that I used to work for prior to that, except working for them directly now. So I'm doing contract work for them, maintaining a whole bunch of applications all at once, maintaining their servers, pretty much doing the entirety of what you would see maybe a 4 or 5 person developer team doing, plus a system admin, plus a project manager. Yeah, all of it. Which I love. I mean, I definitely enjoy the work. It's a lot, but they are just so cool. They're such good people to work with, and I enjoy the work. Absolutely. So that's what I'm doing now, but I wanted to finish up this project. Oh, that's where I was getting to. I have an Access database that I currently use to track my finances manually, and I'm like, why am I still using Access? Why have I not turned this into a Blazor application? It's what I love doing. Actually, 10x. I still wouldn't claim that. I might joke about it, but I don't think so. Like, I just work. That's all. I do what I can. But yeah, I wanted to have a Blazor version of the financial management tracking system that I was using for my own finances. I open sourced it. You can see it on my GitHub here. And yeah, so after we finished the initial pass of the application, since I am pretty terrible at UI design, I'm pretty good at UI implementation. It's one of my favorite things to do. Take someone else's design, put it in whatever UI it needs to be, most likely web. In my previous job, it was a desktop app, but I got to use Blazor for the UI, which was a ton of fun. I just love doing that, but I was never really good at coming up with the design myself, so I figured I'd spend some time while I was working at that other job learning how to use Figma, creating some new designs for this, and this is what we came up with compared to our original implementation, which was this for the landing page, which is the thing that we're redesigning, this for the data entry page, which we haven't redesigned yet. And I finished implementing this part of it to where it looks like this currently, but now we're working on the responsive versions of it with breakpoints and everything. So here is what the app currently looks like. Did I get it all? My name is Wasm, server, .NET Watch. And I guess the other thing that's pretty interesting, in my opinion, about this application is that I built it originally in .NET 5. We've since upgraded it to .NET 7. And I added a MAUI project, which will allow me to target desktop, mobile, and Tizen, as well as a WPF version of the app, which is desktop only. Just to show, oh, and also both flavors of Blazor that were available from .NET 7 and before, which is .NET Server and .NET WebAssembly. Oops, .NET Server and .NET WebAssembly, which is these two. But I just wanted to show that you can write one UI and have your same application working just about the same regardless of where you deploy it to. Is this even the right? I didn't think so. 7176. Okay, so this is what the app currently looks like, and we are working on making it responsive so that on the super wide screen it looks normal, which is what it currently is, and on mobile size it looks normal, and everywhere in between. All right, I think I've said everything. Feel free to ask questions, feel free to start conversations. This stream is pretty AMA friendly, pretty beginner friendly. King, seeing that you are pursuing your bachelor's in computer science, we definitely have a community of very talented and knowledgeable people that you can utilize as a resource during your education path. I graduated with a bachelor's in computer science in 2009, a million years ago, but yeah, definitely would be happy to answer any questions that you might have, encourage you, because I love encouraging people, especially when it comes to software development. Yeah, so ask questions, feel free to engage. We have a Discord server. If you're already a part of way too many Discord servers, a million years, I graduated in 06. I should have graduated in 05. Yeah. But it took me a little while longer than the average person. But yeah, if you already are part of too many Discord servers, ours isn't all that anything special. But again, like I said, we have really, really cool people that are respectful and mindful of beginners, and they won't berate you for asking questions, which is something that was hard for me to find before. And I am seeing it a lot more nowadays, but I just never really found a community that was as friendly and as helpful as the one that we've established together. Napalm said, I thought I was older than you, and I went straight out of high school to college. Me too. Did my 4-year penance and moved into the real world, so you are about 2 years younger than me. Maybe 1 year, because I'm a summer baby. So I started college when I was 18, the summer I turned 18. I'm a real boy. Lies. Lies. All lies. Okay, so let's see how we can make this thing responsive or look better. The thing that we were working on in our last project stream was the header. So we got it to where the font size will change at a certain breakpoint and it'll turn into a hamburger menu and the font size changes, but we're only concerned right now about the mobile view. So the breakpoint here, you can tell needs some work because the title is already pushing all of the links over and they're not adjusting to the screen size properly. But we're going to focus on this first. We just created the, but you were to graduate college in 05. Yes, correct. So I graduated high school in 2000. And TBD says, I finished up high school in 96. That's when my oldest brother finished high school. Middle brother finished high school. Second oldest brother. That'll have to count. Yeah, that's what I thought. When you said you graduated in 06, I was like, oh, you're probably 2 years younger than me. Or 1 or 2 years. You keep telling yourself that, Deflux. It's just TBD. Oh man. I still haven't moved on to the real world, nor will I. I am very happy where I am currently. Okay, thanks. Okay, so let's style this thing. The very last thing that we did was we got it to where when you click on the hamburger menu, it sets a boolean, which adds a class to this top right container. Header, app links. It added the expanded class. And the expanded class styles it so that the app links, this div here, takes up the full screen, is position fixed, has a background color of RGBA, blah, 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 blah. The one thing that I've typically struggled with is when I have a flyover that's supposed to take up the entire screen, you can still tab through the elements on screen. And so essentially what I do is I apply to everything that is not div class app links or whatever the thing is that's the flyout, I apply a pointer. No, what do I do? Something about, oh yeah. I have a UI state property called tab index. And that tab index is specifically for elements that are supposed to be covered up by a popover, and everything will be based off of tab index. If the popover is showing, then tab index is -1, which means you cannot tab to it. So that's one thing that I do to alleviate that. However, there should be a better way to prevent tabbing to elements that are covered by modal or a popover or whatever, a flyout. So we'll figure that out. But for now, let's go ahead and finish styling the menu that does show up. I guess we need to make decisions on whether the menu is going to take the full width and be left aligned. Let's just see what that looks like. That would be menu contents here. And then just note align items. Like start. Okay. And let's give it a background. Background of var primary background color. Ew. Ew. Right, because there's a padding, it's causing it to squish inward. So I really don't like that. So this is one option. Another option is that it could fly out from the right and then just be a full height fly out side drawer, which would need to change sides if we're doing right to left, which is why I prefer this approach better, because if it takes up the full width and then we do flex start, it's going to move the content to the left or right, depending on if you are in a right to left language or left to right language. Inversely, the opposite of what I just said. Well, let's at least start with this. Let's give it the background of here. Expanded when we are on max width BP small, breakpoint small. App links will have a background color of that, and then menu contents will have a background color of background. I have a code. Scott says, my project at work is the full height on the right on mobile. I'm thinking of that. I kind of like it. And does it actually fly out? Does it animate? Instant pop out. And of course, even if I do animate it, I still want to think of accessibility and make sure that I have the option for when users have what's the option that you turn on? There's an option that you turn on for low animation. Gosh, I was just saying it recently too. Gosh, this thing is really helpful right here. The full page accessibility tree. Ooh, it got held. Denied. It's called off canvas from Bootstrap. Yeah, but there's another term for it. It's called, like when you do a CSS check against it. Reduced motion. Gosh. Why was that so hard for me to think of? I was talking about the flyout thing. Oh, the name of your flyout is called off canvas. Animation is animation. You have motion blur in mind? No? Oh, okay. It was a pun. I got it. I'm a little slow. Again, distracted. I mean, like, I'm just thinking of how grateful I am to the people that decided to come by and drop off the package that wasn't theirs. I was not expecting it and am pleasantly surprised and super duper nice. I mean, I wasn't not expecting it. If that makes sense. I just wasn't thinking about what the other person would do. I was just looking at the post office to see what they can do about it. Yeah. Which means exercise. Yes. And not only that, but I was answering the door in my pajama pants because I wear pajama pants all day because I can. And Hi X Coding, another fantastic streamer developer working on his own right now, console ish, but operating system, which is crazy to think about. Let's do a shout out for Xcoding. I'm not familiar with your schedule, Xcoding. If you have a consistent schedule, I don't think you do, which is completely okay, not a judgment. Xcoding schedule. Yeah, no fixed schedule, but he does stream fairly often. I would say fairly often. Yeah, if you want to talk about or share anything about the stuff that you do, even requested to be removed from affiliate program, but you're still stream, right? Because I do love hanging out in your streams. They're very, very productive, and I love hanging out with productive people. I don't always have the volume turned up very high because I'm usually in the middle of my workday. But I do like to just be around that energy. Okay, continuing on. We'll have to think more about what to do with the styling of this. Actually, I do have one more thing that is bothering me, and that is the padding on bottom. Is there a reason? Yeah, let's put the padding up here on menu contents. Yeah, that's better. I like that much more. Fantastic. Yeah, we'll definitely just need to think more about styling this. Should I make it the full sidebar? This is what it would look like if we made it take up the entire vertical space and then justify content flex start. And I think it would look better if we had icons to represent each of the things. But that's just me falling back to my normal patterns. What I really want is, what is a better look for this? Let's go back to the sites that we've been using for inspiration. I think Fidelity was one of the best. I don't like the overall design, but they did a really, really good job of, yeah, of their responsive mode. And by really, really good job, I mean they forgot to give it some padding left and right, but still. Oh, I like that they have a search bar. Oh, that's nice. But yeah, even if I didn't have a search bar, I like this kind of grooved border. And then each of the items has a light border as well. Who else did we look at? We looked at USA Bank, Bank of USA. And I'm looking predominantly at financial institutions because this is a financial type of app. Yeah. And then here's another one that gives it a drop shadow. Actually, 2 drop shadows, it looks like. It's just, I don't have enough content. And yes, they do have icons that make it more easy for you to parse what is on the screen with your eyeballs. Eyeballs. It's just, I don't have all that much stuff. I don't have all that much content. They even moved the login out on its own. You have to have icons. It's the law. You don't have to. I don't even know that there is an accessibility rule that says you must have icons for your menu items. I don't know. I use them. DDMS. Yeah, that too. Picking non-meaningful icons, for one, would make it just more confusing. 2, having too many of them, as TBD said, would make your screen just more cluttered. This one, because this has a specific user base, they get used to the icons. So even if I didn't pick the best icons, they still have associated the icon with the thing that they're trying to get to so that they can visually just get to it pretty easily. I think I did a pretty good job of picking good icons for this one. Chain of custody. Yeah, and all of them have this weird thing for the ones that were .NET 5 and before. Yeah. I'll need to fix the UI for that. Oh, hush. But does it really work for this UI to have an icon? And this background really doesn't work. I'd rather have a gradient that kind of follows this, but is more solid. What would happen if we did that? Does anyone know the CSS for linear gradient? I know someone that does. Let's go with the hex. Please do not hex me. We need to get that card out of our deck. So tired of it. Speaking of, and you don't have to answer if you're busy, TBD, but did you happen to consider a little bit more whether or not you're going to try out Tainted Grail? If not, that's completely okay. Again, no judgments. I just love the game and can't recommend it enough. Let's go with, instead of, yeah, we're going to do background color, but we're going to set the background to linear gradient. Come on, Copilot, help me out here. You don't need to put 0. We want it to be rotated 90 degrees. Okay, good. And then we're going to have a start color of this. Yeah, I didn't think you had to put 0% for the first stop. But I could be wrong. And then let's choose a color like this one. Oops, that's snipping tool. I want to try, I got my wife looking, see if she wants to give it a go. Awesome. Yeah, I don't want to pressure you, but I'm so excited about that game. I think everyone should try it. If you're into, you know, fantasy settings and pretty hard decisions. 90 degrees looks like I made it go left to right. and it's blending in too much. Deflex says, what game? It's called Tainted Grail. The one that I'm always talking about on stream. Not the actual PC game. This one. So you have these cards, and I definitely recommend getting sleeve card protectors, these things for them. Wait, those aren't card protectors, those are just card holders. Dang. But yeah, getting sleeves for them, these things here. But you get cards that act as your locations, and you reveal them as you travel through the world, and your characters can move from one location to another location by paying energy. You have a limited amount of energy that you can use every day, and you regain that energy at the end of the day by resting. And so you travel from one location to another, and then you pay an energy to explore that location, which takes you into this journal, and that journal has some guided text where if you meet certain conditions, then you can make certain decisions. And the decisions that you make affect what this map ends up looking like. So let's say in one location you have decided to kill a whole bunch of people. Then you replace that location with another location that says it's now the Baron, whatever this place is called. Yeah, it's so good. Such a good game. Maggot. Maggot's one of my favoriteest characters. And RF. But one thing I think that you said, TBD, that you don't like about games like this is how fiddly they can be. And these pieces can be pretty fiddly. We bought the resources pack where each of these little squares on your character board are resources. So you have magic, reputation maybe is second. No, wealth, reputation, XP. Oh, food is what I said first. Magic is at the end, and all of those other ones that I just said. And so they actually have little pieces that act as a single piece of food is a small half loaf of bread, and then a 5 of food is a full loaf of bread, but they're still really small and hard to pick up. And then the magic are these little cool looking gem things. Upgraded resources. I'm all talking about them and I could just show a picture of them. Yeah. Reputation. XP, which is cool. They're little journals, they're books or pages of books. Wealth, which are coins. Food, which are these half loaf and full loaf, and then magic. So cool. So much fun. Oh, I want to see these guys so bad. I just wish they did more with the PC game, because I would love to see these locations in PC version. Oh, and people have done some amazing painting on their Tainted Grail models, on their minis. I am in awe. Yeah, anyway. I just love it because it's a co-op game that isn't like a dungeon crawler. I mean, it's still a deck builder for the most part, but it's mostly story based. And if you're not into heavy story-based games, it's probably not for you, but oh, it is so immersive, so fantastic. Yeah. Can recommend then. My wife and I, we played a lot of MMOs, and we were like, getting a little bit of fatigue and wanted something different. And she happened to find that. I don't fully remember how she found it, but so glad she did. And, oh, she was looking for, I remember because we just recently talked about this. She was looking for another board game that was kind of like Crystal Maze something something, and ended up finding that one and was like, this looks interesting, we should try it. And I was like, yeah, let's do it, because especially since it was Arthurian lore, which is one of the coolest lore tangle history mess things ever. All right, let's rotate this. So if we had you at 0, does that mean that you just go top to bottom? Bottom to top. 180. Top to bottom. Yeah, I still don't like it. I think maybe it's because the left edge blends too much with everything else. I don't want to give it a border per se, but it's almost like it needs to be lighter. Than everything else. This looks too faded. I want a more juicy color. I keep doing snipping tool. Let's go with this color as the top. And I struggle to understand what a juicy color is. So to my eye, there are some colors that look matte and faded and kind of pastels. Those are like just chalky feeling colors to me. And juicy colors are the ones that feel rich or yeah, it's really difficult to explain what happens to my eyes when I see them, but they feel like moisturized, or they enjoy the color. So juicy colors like and I guess it's relative to the colors around it that makes it juicy. Yeah. So like I would call this, even though it's brighter than my preferred colors, juicy, and then this faded or matte or chalky. Juicy. Oh, I know. Mouth-watering. Maybe you don't like the grape kind, but you know the color of grape, what are they called? Not jawbreakers. Why can't I think of the name of those? Candy. I used to get them all the time. Everlast. Long-lasting flavor. What are they called? Jolly Ranchers. So the color of grape Jolly Ranchers is juicy because it makes your mouth water thinking about what it would taste like. That's the effect that I get from juicy colors. If I put it in my mouth, it would make my mouth water. Oh, fixations. Am I right? Juicy colors. Although these are terrible. They're so chalky, but the outer shell is juicy colored. Here. Juicy colors. Juicy. That's a very juicy color. Compared to chalky color. Chalky. Well, I guess some of these are juicy. Did I explain it? Did I make it known? I didn't get it, I think. Now I want candy. Oh. All right. Keyboard, what do you do? Okay, so let's try this. Yeah, okay. Oh, interesting. Candy. No, no. Give me the dagnabbit. Okay, button background color. What happens if we make the starting color the button background color? Yeah. Okay. So that makes a little more sense. Why, though, is the top not in line with the bottom? It sounded like an intro to a Linkin Park song. It was Big Gamey's Hat Change song. Do 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 do. Sing it like it's scat. Yeah, and then again the bottom. Well, I don't know. Oh, we can't make a button background color unless we change this button's background color. I wanted it to match the hamburger color. Is the issue. Like, I need to make this button be secondary button. Oh gosh, why didn't the designer show me what the hamburger menu drop down design should look like? Not only that, I did make this kind of squished. Doesn't look good. Oh, I'm not happy with it. Not happy with it at all. Oh. Okay, so for one, the hamburger button should have a mostly transparent background and it just kind of darkens the button. So let's do that first. What's the point of having a designer because the original developer did a poor job on the design? So the way that we're playing this out is the original developer was not very skilled in designing at all. And so the only thing that that original developer cared about was making an app that looked okay and was very functional. It did all of the things that the user would want, and it covered it all, and it presented things in an easy layout and an easy to navigate kind of way. But the client was like, we still need this to appeal to people visually. And so we need someone with more of a design aesthetic to appeal to a wider audience to make people want to use the app based on visual appeal. Because the functionality is there, it's smooth, the app works great, but we need it to look better. And so they got a designer, and that designer happens to not also be able to code or to implement that design. But the original developer is really good at implementing someone else's design if they didn't have to come up with it on their own. Like, look at how much trouble I'm having deciding on this button, on this menu actually. So if the designer had spent the time coming up with what this should look like, because they know better than I would ever know, what is your top bar height 3.3 rim? Whoa. Je lurk on mon besties. Did I pronounce that correctly, Irish John Games? Did I pronounce your Franglish? Frangrilish? Anyway, hello Irish John Games. Thank you so much for the lurk. You guys don't know Irish John Games. I'm sure all of you do, but he is a fantastic game developer working in Unity, using C# for the code behind language is what I'm going to call it, as most people that use Unity do when they write scripts and stuff. Check out his stream. He streams on Monday through Saturday around 1 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 8 p.m. Irish people time. And yeah, check out his stream. Trying not to go too far with my shout outs. Okay, anyway, we're gonna just do this. We're just gonna make decisions. It's gonna look fantastic. We've done things like this before, so it won't be bad. We need the top bar's hamburger button styles, which is here. Okay. And so I styled the hamburger button in the component itself for app bar links. I haven't really styled it is what the issue is. Okay, so the thing that we really want is not focus. We're gonna have a opacity of 0.4. Are you still visible at 0.4? It is. Why aren't you updating your opacity when it has the focus? Not focus, hover. Hover, man. We'll do both. That way, when you tab over to it, it still has the proper background. Okay, so that's number one. And it should stay so long as it has the... Oof. So long as it's active or has the focus or hover. And then expand it as well. Then we'll go to top bar, expanded, hamburger, opacity 1 all the time. Okay, so when it's oh, it's because of the expanded. You're supposed to be in the expanded rule. Man, does that mean I need a separate? Okay, expanded. You don't get the focus. You stay full opacity. Great. Now the other thing that I need is for the background itself, the background color on the button, to be RGBA, probably a dark gray. Let's do something like 0E00E. Is that too dark? I think that might be too dark. 1. Yes-ish. I think it just needs to be more transparent. Okay, good. Now the other thing that I need is for the button to stop shifting around. Kind of don't like that. All right. So I want to position it in a very specific way. So we'll do position absolute top. And we're going to use, can't use 50% because that's going to be 50% of its container. And when I make the app links take up the full screen, it's going to move it down to the bottom. So I kind of have to use a fixed position. And I want that position to be relative to the header height. Right. The way we're going to do that is we're going to do a calc of bar, top bar height. What did I call that thing? Top bar height over 2 which puts it down 50% of the top bar height. Then transform translate Y. We need to, because that puts the top left corner down 50%. So we need to move it 50% up of the element's height. So minus 50% of the element's height, which doesn't make a visual change because it should have been centered when we have display flex align item center. But there we go. When we expand the menu, then it does what it's supposed to. Still not quite liking the height of the button itself, the height and width. Oof. So let's do the height. Again, another calc off of the top bar height so that we can essentially give it a padding. Minus, and then the padding is going to be 0.4 ems. That didn't seem to take off very much height. Where is the header versus the hamburger button? Oh, yeah, I mean, it's definitely there. Okay, that makes sense. Hello, Violet Dragon. Hope you're having a great Monday. Let's make it a square real quick. All right, so yeah, the thing that's happening is that this is not a border, this is an outline, and that's why it's not factoring into the size of the visual state of the button. So let's take off some more from this. Okay, I like that better. You know me better. Okay, so now when we are expanded, then the menu contents, Actually, it doesn't matter. We can define the menu contents positioning here, which is going to be relative to the app links, which is inset 0. So inset 0 is shorthand here for top 0, left 0, right 0, bottom 0, or top, right, bottom, left, whatever order you want to do it in. So this is going to be relative to the nearest either fixed or absolute or relative, either one of these three. Position absolute. I don't want to make it position absolute because then I lose the right side of it. Or do I? If I make it right 0, then we should be fine. And top is going to be top bar height. I don't like that, but still. I also kind of want to make this fixed. And instead of giving it a height of 100%, which could have some issues as far as scrolling and clipping and all that stuff, we'll just make it bottom 0 so that the bottom will always line up perfectly with the bottom of the viewport. Or actually of its container, which is inset 0, which means that it's going to take up the whole viewport. Okay, we're getting there. What about adding a... Ooh. What about extending it into the top bar and adding a padding top? So instead of making this var top bar height, we say 0 still, and then a padding top bar height. So the content stays where it's at. Oh, padding down here. Okay. It's getting overwritten by this padding. All right, and then the hamburger button still needs to be z-index indes 2 to move it on top. Ugh, that's really ugly. I hate it. Because the intention was essentially to make it go behind button as opposed to what we had before, which was... Come here, padding. Nope, it has to be in that order. Nope. Dude. Okay, so it's either going to be this or the other view that I just had. And it's not going to let me toggle them here. I guess another thing that I didn't consider is that when this is expanded, I could... Yeah, let's go back to making this full width. And then that was align items flex start. Menu, 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 menu. Moves everything to the left. I do like it this way better compared to the other one. Yeah, I like it better this way. I'm gonna keep this and we're gonna move forward with it. This button should look different than the ones on the page though. And the thing that I liked about one of the sites that we just saw was they moved the hamburger button to the far left, put the title in the middle, and then the login button or link is always available, always visible, instead of needing to go into a menu in order to click login. I like that a lot better. How squished. It would be cool if yeah, I'm not liking the opacity thing. Let's get rid of this. If we had some kind of listener on the elements themselves, that's kind of like a collision mesh, where if we see this element's collision mesh, its bounds, intersect with this thing's bounds, then instead of using breakpoints, we're now using collision meshes to say, trigger this event, cause this thing to go away. So set display none. That would be cool. I don't think it's worth it though. Right, I was getting rid of this opacity thing. Any other hamburger buttons anywhere? Hello? Hamburger? Okay, we're good. The one that we could change the background on then. So let's bring this back, but instead of opacity, let's just do background color. Background color? Beef button. Where did I put beef? Oh, hamburger button. I get it. I'm a little slow. Please forgive me. All right. Background color, Lee. If it doesn't have the focus, we will make it the way that it looks currently. If it does have the focus or hover, then we'll make it 5. Yeah. I'm going with that. And then the border is just going to be, instead of the regular button border, it's going to be my, do I actually have a style written for default border? Yeah. Oh, not border, outline. That's what I said. Yeah. And it is kind of thick too. Can I make it even smaller than that? No. No. Whatever. 1 pix is fine. 1 pix is fine. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you on this. Okay. Once we turn these into links, they will look better. And what about the idea of having this light border in between each item? So UL, when expanded, menu contents, UL. Yep. Could definitely be here. Yeah, we'll do it down here. Hamburger button is not in menu content, so I put it here. UL, LI, order, bottom. Oh, it's not going to be full width when I do this. 1px, solid. And then do I have a light version? Faint. I'm all looking for it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oof. 1. I don't know what I did here. What are you? Background color. Oh, that was probably causing some issues. Does anyone know what's going on? Because I sure don't. Okay. When we are expanded, then I want to override the background color so that it is always filled in, regardless of whether it has the focus or not. And the outline is always present now, as opposed to only present on focus and yeah, gosh. Let's do and not hover, and not focus specifically. That way, hover. Why? Why? Hamburger button and not focus. Outline none. Know that there is something that I am missing. Gosh, I'm making a mess of this. Hamburger. Yeah, there's still something on button. That should be the only one that we need. We don't need it down here. If it isn't. And we don't need it in here. Good. Good. We've got it. We've done it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I really don't like the border bottom on these LIs. Who's moving to Colorado? It's kind of funny that it's Dr. Captain Sir, and I was recently talking with him directly. No, I'm not. Anyway, where are we? I think with this, I want to make the background on this even darker. So that would be on top bar. Position fixed, inset 0. Let's make you even darker. Nonsense. I don't like that it's also darkening the title bar. But if I do anything to fix that, it's going to be create another wrapper around this, around the menu contents, so that the only part that has this clickable dismiss area is whatever wrapper is around menu content, so that menu contents can still have this be only this tall, but then the rest of the wrapper is the thing that is taking up the rest of the space here. What if we put the app brand? Ooh, what if we put the app brand at a Z index higher than app links? So app links is at 2. If we put this at Z index 3, that should fix it. Yeah, that's what I want. Wait, why does this say, oh, app bar links? What did I call that brand then? Don't you have a SAS file? Yeah, but it wasn't open. Z index 3. So one thing that I have learned is not to go crazy with the Z index. I am definitely guilty of just using something like, well, I need this to be on the top of everything ever. So I'm going to make it Z index 100,001 because nothing else is ever going to be on top of this. Had I done that with the links, then I would have needed to know what that one was, and I would need to add another one to this, or I probably would have ended up just being like 200,001. And then eventually you're up to Z index 1 million, and it's like, you really don't need to be. So 1, 2, and 3 works just fine. But yes, I like that a lot more. Just like this. Okay, and then eventually what I'll do is I'll animate this, but for now we'll just focus on making sure that it's styled looking correctly. I'm gonna get rid of that bottom border. What I really wanted was a divider in between each of these list items. That went the full width, which I can still do. Let's play with that just a little longer. And then each of these would have a padding of whatever my gap is divided by 2. So what do I have as the gap for my UL? Probably define that in app links. 1M. So we'll turn gap to 0. We'll turn padding top and bottom to 0.5 M and 0 left and right. I didn't save the other one. Wait, no, that should have unset the gap, but it still looks like it's getting the gap. Why? UL flex gap. Am I not being specific? Or maybe it just didn't actually load gap. Oh, gap is on you. There we go. Okay, then the last piece of this would be to do something like have a padding of 0. Okay. We wanted to keep the top and bottom padding, so that was around 1M. Actually, it's going to be 0.5M top, 0 right, 1M bottom, 0 left. The LIs are going to be the things that get the padding left and right of 1M. And then the button, oh, why does that look like a much bigger padding top? It should only be 0.5 plus 0.5, which is 1, which should match the bottom, probably because I don't want it to be 0.5. Yeah, it looks better like that. And then the button itself, which is called button. Not good. It's just called button. But the button in menu contents is going to have a margin left of 1M so that it matches everything else. Okay. So what do we think then? I think it needs a bottom of 0.5 padding. That way it looks even. I hate it. I hate this button. I don't like the button. I think the button just needs to go. Either that or, yeah, why is it a button? Either that or it should just be a menu item. You definitely don't have to apologize for stepping away, but I forgive you. And yeah, I appreciate you. Always. So that's a good question. Why is it a button? Probably shouldn't be a button. Instead, it should be another list item for get started. So one thing that we know needs to happen though is that the button itself does get hidden. The reason that this button exists at all on display 0 is because it is part of the wider design right here. And so when we get to this point, it should probably be the first item in the list. But does it even belong in the list at all? What if this thing here said get started or log in? Blech. No. Okay, so then this is what it would look like if instead I could have just duplicated. If instead it said get started, and if so, should it go before or after login? Or should it go at the very top? And then I would get rid of the last border. Yeah, what does get started mean? Is it general onboarding? So yes. The other issue with these designs is that they are only the landing page. And I haven't even considered what it would mean to have login functionality in this app. It's only been ever designed as a single user application with your own database that you connect to. But get started would be register, onboarding. Right? Yeah, isn't that an action you want to promote from the homepage? It definitely is. And that is what this is. I would say that doesn't need to be in the menu at all. Yeah, cool. And yeah, it will be front and center off of the hero section once we apply the styles for the hero section. Although it's not really front and center based off of the designer's UI. There's this big image first, and then some information, and then get started. But I still think we should remove it from this menu. Oops. So we're good the way that it is, and we're gonna have this be and not last of type. Okay, and that gets rid of that. And because we no longer have that extra item at the bottom, we don't need an extra padding because the padding is contained completely within the LI. Cool. Simple enough. Simple enough. I agree with you too. Okay, so there we are. Hamburger menu in mobile. Mostly done. Do I want this to be closer to the edge? Do we want to get rid of some padding? What is padding in regular? 0, 1. So, oh, that's actually in app brand and app bar links. Group 5. Yeah. I mean, it makes more sense to have less padding on the left and right in mobile. Hello, Full Snubble. Hope you're having a great day so far. Yeah, we're going with this. I'm not 100% happy with it. I think it has to do with the coloring. But it does do what I want. So maybe when we get some on hover effects, it'll be good. Yes, it is. I really don't get this picture at all. You're so right. And it kind of looks like it is here. Or maybe it is going across. So hard to tell. Awesome. Shout out for Dukasoft. You're so good at this though, Dukasoft. Dukasoft does drone streams on occasion. Once seen, you can't unsee it. I've been looking at it for a really long time. I'm like, there's just something wrong with this picture. But yeah, Dukasoft does drone streams. He takes videos from his drone of beautiful, well, I'm gonna get it wrong. Denmark, various places around Denmark. Anyway, chill times on his stream. Lots of fun to hang out when he does actually stream, and good music. He uses stream beats when he's streaming, but I don't know. He just picks the right music. That's all that matters. Okay. We're gonna commit this because we are done with top bar. Top bar styling mobile. I'm gonna put applied. All right. I'm going to push these because we've gotten pretty far, and I don't think that I've pushed them to the server for a while, but they are there. Again, if you are ever interested in doing anything alongside with the project, feel free to check out the GitHub project page for it. It is open source. Feel free to fork and pull request. No guarantees that I'll get to it very quickly at all. Yeah, the end. Okay, what else do we have? Main layout in responsive mode. What? Oh, main layout in responsive. I want to decrease the padding for all of the elements. That's the thing. There is no padding on main layout. That happens in index. Right, and we are going to learn about using containers and container queries. Whoa. Here we are. Okay, so this is our mobile. We definitely want index page and then : deep section. Yeah. Because this is where our padding is set. Nice. Wow, that was very good. What is it called? Copilot. Where's our other padding set? That's pretty big for padding on mobile. Yeah, that's still pretty massive. I was thinking something like 0.5 and get aggro. No. Step 1, root. Step 2, confuse, and step 3 is it's the pacify skill. One shoe, what's your pacify skill called? There's trick, but that makes it target another player. Veil. And then you do veil. Hi, Tyndall. You're not late, you're on time. You are perfect the way you are. APOC wants to collab. There's these buttons that they don't tell you what they are, so people just click them. Bye, Apocalypse. I am not open for... I have collabs turned on. I just need to turn them off for now because I don't know that I'm ready for collabs. I would be if you tried to collab with me at the very, very beginning of the stream. But this late into the stream, probably not. Yeah, I know the feeling. I've done it too. But yeah, collab is essentially a way for if you are streaming at the same time as someone else, then you can have a co-stream. Which is not quite the same as co-star. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll just let it time out, or you can cancel it. Doesn't matter. Okay, so this is what it looks like with a 0.5 rem padding. All right, I'm okay with that. And then the max content width needs to change. The hero section also needs it. Yep, right here. Cool. For template columns, 1FR, but why is 1FR so big? Because of the picture, most likely. Yeah, bad UX design if you click something and you don't know what it does. I mean, like, they gave us some indication in like an email, maybe not. And then they just announced like upcoming features. The thing that I don't like is when they default it to on, and then people are like, well, I didn't read about that, so I'm just gonna try it out and figure out what it does. I thought it's a knock-knock joke. Yeah. But I do have Apocalypse as one of the people that are allowed to request. Yeah, I figured since you can control who is allowed to request a collab, then I could just let you guys know what it does. How can I stream something and have it end up dry? Probably can't. You'll be so well. I don't know. I don't know the way that your brain fully works. Maybe you could do it. Oh, steam something and have it end up dry. I was like, maybe your brain could handle streaming and keeping track of all of the different places you wrote the same code over and over. But yeah, you didn't write it as stream. You wrote steam. You did. Not relevant to the stream. I just steamed dumplings and well, they're pretty dry, partly dry. Yeah, that does happen with food, especially. So I don't know how that works. I should know how it works since I love all things food related, but I don't. I don't know how it works. Anyway, we're now working on the hero section. I like this padding for mobile, or lack of padding now. I don't know why view transaction history is so weird or why there's this extra padding on the right. I think it has to do with what I just said, which is that the content is set to a width of max content width, and that is manually set to the calculation of the viewport width 100 VW minus the var padding, default padding. And is that the case? Where's width? Maybe it's here. No, maybe it's here. Yeah, max width, var default content max width. Based on 100 VW. Minus the default padding. I don't like that. It's a terrible way to do that. I thought it was to do with your sense of humor, Thindle. Just, oh, why? Why did Zelda just turn into Judgy Cat? Because she didn't get food. Apparently carrot slices or parchment paper or thin layer of oil on the basket before steaming helps avoid them sticking. Maybe that helps. It's because I didn't give her a dumpling. I like pot stickers. I like pot stickers. Anyway, we aren't down here yet. We'll fix these sections after we're done with the hero, but first we're going to focus on the hero section and get that to look beautiful. So the hero section is in index. Didn't I just recently give the hero its own component? I did. Oh, that's what this is. Main page hero. Paying attention. Hello, Peter. Peter says, quick note about troubleshooting from Friday. I have indeed seen VMs on both Azure and Amazon almost die. So slow they're useless, but not down. Anyway, turning off, waiting, then back on might fix your problem. Might. So I did that over the weekend. I applied all of the updates. I added 20 gigabytes to the system drives for 2 of the servers that were almost full, and then did a restart. And I asked the person to check this morning, and they have been running just fine all day so far. So yes, it was hard drive space most likely, and pending Windows updates. So far. Pendle said, I didn't use a bamboo basket, got one of those metal put on the pot things, so didn't stick, but +5 for ideas. Did you know that if you have a Docker build that works in Windows, it might not work in on Linux? Winix. Not at all annoying. I think it has to do with Visual Studio using a working directory. Good luck with this one, says Peter. Oops. Yeah, I really appreciate the input. I'm still looking at what it would take for us to redeploy to new hardware in case it was failing hardware, but I don't think it was failing hardware. I just think it was a full hard drive. Wait, what happened on Friday? On Wednesday of last week, I think, is when one of the people that I support at work was complaining about ArcGIS, which they remote desktop into one of our servers in order to run ArcMap, which is a desktop application for maintaining the map that gets displayed on one of our apps. This map. So they go into an ArcGIS desktop application, they make changes to the map, and then they republish to a file. But they haven't been able to publish for a long time because they don't really know the process. Oh man, it's crazy. It's all JavaScript too. I did make a couple of Blazor components out of some of the things, and I wrapped them, but it really is just Java under the hood. So this layers list is, or features list, is from the ArcGIS JavaScript API. It's one of the objects that they give you, but I put a Blazor wrapper on top of it to be able to just say, I want a layer list here, and here is the, when you click on one of the layers, what I want you to do, etc., etc. So it felt more Blazor-y, C-sharpy, but under the hood, it's still just interacting with JavaScript. But anyway, so she makes updates to the map in ArcMap. She tried having it installed on her machine before, and all of the data sources and everything that she needs are in the cloud, and whatever happened at the time caused her connection to just be really slow, so working in the application was a terrible experience for her. So I set it up to where she can RDP directly into a server, launch the application there, all of the resources are local, and she was working really well with it. But then suddenly on Wednesday, it started freezing for a while, her session, and then the session would just disconnect and then say, I'm reconnecting. And I was like, I'm not really experiencing that myself, but then I was logged into the server doing some stuff with Active Directory and the certificates, and it started freezing, and I'm like, okay, I see it. And then I noticed that the hard drive only had 3 gigabytes of space left. There were Windows updates that weren't getting applied, and it hadn't been restarted in a year or two. So I'm like, let's just get it all done this weekend. So I did all that this weekend. I was looking for ideas on re-architecting the whole entire system. I showed a list of all of the technologies that are running on EC2 instances, and we have 4 EC2 instances. We have IIS, SQL Server, DT Search, which is kind of like Elasticsearch, but not really. RabbitMQ, a whole bunch of these different technologies. And I just was thinking maybe it's a good time to decide that we should move those into individual cloud services. Because I'm sure, like Peter said on Friday, there are most likely cloud native services, or whatever it's called. That could be the wrong terminology, for those technologies, like ArcGIS, for example. They probably have an ArcGIS server. What is it called? Software as a service. Or platform as a service is what that one would be, probably. Same with SQL Server. They have RDS. Same with the, instead of using IIS, I could just be using Elastic Beanstalk for all of my apps, instead of using a full server for doing all the things. I don't know. I was thinking about that, but then he's like, just think about this instead. In most cases, it's hardware, and maybe you just need a restart. And I tried the suggestions he gave, and sure enough, they seem to be working so far. We missed each other's windows. But yeah, thank you so much for the follow, by the way. I really, really appreciate it. As other streamers in our community also have, I have anonymous follows turned on, but if you do want to be known who you are, feel free to chat. And Crapteen is here. Crapteen was one that said this looks fun to debug. We will be getting into these apps again. Right now, this one is the .NET 6 version of RMA Water. I have upgraded it to .NET 8, but I have not deployed it. I think it is deployed on the test server though. And it looks the same. It works faster. It uses a different authentication approach. It uses their .NET 8 scaffolded identity stuff instead of going through Duende, which .NET 7 and before were using. No, this is still not it. One, two, three, not it. It could be. It's really hard to tell. I made them look really, really close to each other. No, it feels faster. Whatever. It could also be that I restarted the servers. But anyway, that is going to be it for today, by the way. I had a lot of fun with you guys. I hope you had fun today as well. But that's my time. Yeah. We're going to head on over to a friend of the channel who I haven't rated in a little bit. You as well, Napalm. Thank you so much. And you have a great day too, Thindle. Appreciate the stream. It's all one word. And thank you for streaming as often as you do, TBD. It's been great. And Crapteen says, don't talk to me about pipelines. I was trying to figure out Azure DevOps and I struggle AF. I love pipelines in Azure DevOps. I really, really, really love pipelines in Azure DevOps. I understand them better than GitHub Actions. Yeah, once they work, they're great. That is true though, but they did seem pretty easy for me to set up for these apps at least. If you couldn't tell, I use the CI/CD stuff in Azure DevOps for the applications that I do for work. And once they're set up, the only thing that you really need to do differently is if you upgrade to a different version of .NET, you tell it to use .NET whatever that you're targeting to build, and it publishes just fine. At least it does for me. But then again, my systems are pretty simple. They're just web applications that I publish to a file or to IIS using web deploy. I think you can do latest in pipelines too, yeah, but that is also caution is what I would say to that. I wouldn't recommend putting it at latest for all of your builds, because there are times when there are .NET 7 specific things. And anyway, yes, thank you Irish John Games for lurking, hanging out. I'm definite I'll be hanging out on your stream, S ** N, hearing more drama. We're rating out to Dragon Spirit Games, provided I spell his name correctly. Dragon Spirit _games. He's working on a game called Gaia, which is named after his daughter, and the main character is his daughter, or the avatar of his daughter. She goes on an adventure, meets some Greek gods and goddesses, and has to save the world because she's amazing. Captain says, I think the naming is somewhat confusing. Environments, agents, release pipelines, build pipelines, artifacts. So the build pipelines and release pipelines made perfect sense to me. Agents didn't make sense to me at first, but then I understood them. Environments made sense to me again after I understood them, where you're talking about where you're deploying to, which could be servers, it could be the feed. But yes. Yeah, build servers is a good thought. But like the build pipeline, the regular pipeline on there is the build pipeline, and then the release pipeline is when you're doing the CD part of it. Thank you for being here, APOC. Development pools and environments, true. Okay, but we can talk about that again. Feel free to bring it up. Happy to talk more. Ciao.